Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. In today's lecture, we are going to study about the process of spermatogenesis in humans. So without wasting any more time, let us begin. The first thing that we are going to study here is what is spermatogenesis and where does it occur. So we are basically going to study what is the definition of spermatogenesis and its location within the human male body. So like I have already said it before, that if you look at the word spermatogenesis and you break it down into two terms, sperma refers to sperm, which is the main gamete, and genesis is to produce. Therefore, if you combine the meaning of these two words, spermatogenesis is the process by which sperms are produced. Spermatogenesis begins during puberty in males. What is puberty? Puberty is that age when a person becomes sexually mature. That is the age when the person gains the ability to produce an offspring. Then, spermatogenesis continues throughout the life of a male. Spermatogenesis begins at puberty and it is said or considered to continue throughout the life of a male. But research says that the efficiency and the rate of spermatogenesis, that is the number of sperm cells produced and the morphology of the sperm, the motility of the sperm, all these parameters, they decrease with aging. However, it does continues towards the end of the life also. Then, what is the location of spermatogenesis? Spermatogenesis occurs inside the U-shaped seminiferous tubules of the testis. So, just for a revision, testes are oval paired glands in the body, and it is covered by this white fibrous connective tissue layer called tunica albuginea, which invaginates inside and divides the testis into many compartments called testicular lobules. So these are the testicular lobules, and it is in these testicular lobules there are U-shaped tubules called seminiferous tubules. It is inside these seminiferous tubules that the spermatogenesis occurs. So I hope whatever information was presented in this page is clear to you. Let us move on. So this is the picture of a testicle. Testes are paired glands and they are present outside the abdominal cavity in this pouch of skin which is called scrotum. This is also an image of the testis. This is the internal structure of the testis. This is a diagrammatic image, while this is a real image of the testis, and you can compare the structures over here. This image I have put here in order for you to refresh your memory regarding the internal structure of the testis and how the seminiferous tubules look. So, let us move on to study about the internal structure of the seminiferous tubule. So, inside the seminiferous tubules, which are U-shaped tubules, there is the seminiferous epithelium. All these cells that you see are present inside the seminiferous tubule and they form the seminiferous epithelium. This epithelium has two types of cells, the spermatogonia cells, which are the germ cells, and the Sertoli cells. Now I'm going to highlight the spermatogonia cells and the Sertoli cells for you. So with green color, I am going to highlight the spermatogonia cells. So these are the spermatogonia cells. While with blue color, I am going to highlight the Sertoli cells. These are the Sertoli cells. So you see that Sertoli cells are very large cells, while spermatogonia cells are present between Sertoli cells. Spermatogonia cells are the germ cells. This term is very important. Germ cells are those cells in our body that will produce the gamete. These cells are also diploid in nature and they undergo meiosis to produce gametes. They are the only cells in the human body that will undergo meiosis to form the gametes. While these Sertoli cells, they do not produce gametes, but they support the production of gametes and hence are very important for gamete production. indirectly. So I hope this is clear. Let's move on. Now we will study about the events that occur during spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis takes place in the seminiferous tubule, and from starting to the end, that is from the stage of spermatogonia to the stage of spermatozoa, it requires at least 70 to 75 days. And spermatogenesis itself has many phases. Okay, so spermatogenesis begins with this diploid cell called spermatogonia. And since this cell is going to form the sperms, this is the germ cell. Okay, so spermatogonia is the diploid germ cell. Spermatogonia will undergo mitosis to form two types of cells called spermatogonia type A and spermatogonia type B. Now, spermatogonia type A will not undergo further divisions. It will remain near the basement membrane of the seminiferous tubule and will serve as a future stock for production of gametes. While spermatogonia type B will undergo meiosis division to form sperm. So this spermatogonia type B will now undergo growth and become a larger cell called primary spermatocyte. Suppose this cell was spermatogonia type B, it will undergo growth to form a larger cell called primary spermatocyte. Remember, spermatogonia type B is also diploid and primary spermatocyte is also diploid. Now, this primary spermatocyte is the cell which will undergo the process of meiosis, which is reductional division, and it will form two types of cells, secondary spermatocytes. Two secondary spermatocytes will be formed, and since it is meiosis, both will be haploid in nature. Both will be haploid in nature, that is having half the number of chromosomes as present in the parent cell. These will further undergo meiosis 2. These will further undergo meiosis 2 to form spermatids. Spermatids are also round cells. Spermatids are also round cells, and these spermatids will then transform into spermatozoa. So this is a spermatozoa. So the spermatogenesis, or the process of spermatogenesis, begins with spermatogonia and ends with haploid cells called spermatozoa. So from each spermatogonia, 4 spermatozoa are formed. Now I want you to understand that this term spermatogenesis is often confused and with other terms such as spermatocytogenesis, which is written over here, and spermiogenesis. What is spermatocytogenesis and spermiogenesis? Actually, you can understand them as being subphases within spermatogenesis. So this phase of spermatogenesis, which begins from primary spermatocytes and ends at till spermatids, this whole phase that begins from primary spermatocytes and ends at spermatids, this phase is called spermatocytogenesis. So spermatocytogenesis represents the phases that undergo meiosis. Okay, while this transformation of a spermatid to spermatozoa, this transformation is called spermiogenesis. Okay, so I hope this was clear to you. Let's move on. So now we can read the theory part. So spermatogonium divides to form two types of cells, spermatogonia type A and spermatogonia type B. We should remember that spermatogonia type A will act like a stem cell. A stem cell is a cell which has the ability to produce other types of cells as well as to produce cells that are like itself. Okay, so spermatogonia type A acts like a stem cell and it does not divide to produce sperms. So spermatogonia type A will not immediately take part in sperm formation. Instead, it will reserve itself for future divisions. Okay, and it remains in contact with the basement membrane of the seminiferous tubule and will come in use in the future. Okay, the spermatogonia type B will divide to form sperms and it moves away from the basement membrane towards the lumen. Then it will undergo growth to form the primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis 1 to form secondary spermatocytes, which are haploid cells. Secondary spermatocytes complete meiosis 2 to form spermatids, and spermatids will transform into spermatozoa or sperm. And as I said, that within the process of spermatogenesis, there are two phases: spermatocytogenesis and spermiogenesis. What is spermatocytogenesis? The process of formation of spermatids, the haploid spermatids from primary spermatocytes, is called spermatocytogenesis. Spermatocytogenesis, it represents the meiotic phases. The meiotic phases of spermatogenesis. Whereas the process by which spermatids they transform into spermatozoa is called spermiogenesis. Together, spermatocytogenesis and spermiogenesis form the process called spermatogenesis. So I hope this process of spermatogenesis was clear to you. And as I said, that this process is a continuous process that begins at puberty and it can continue throughout the life of the male. Okay, so at last we are going to do some questions regarding spermatogenesis. So let us see. The first question is, which of the following cell stages during spermatogenesis is haploid? It is asking that which of the following cells that are formed during spermatogenesis is haploid. So is it spermatogonia? Is it primary spermatocyte? Is it type B spermatogonia, or it is spermatids? So what should be the answer? Spermatogonia is a diploid cell. It is the germ cell, or you can say spermatogonia is a diploid cell. Primary spermatocyte is also diploid. Type B spermatogonia is also diploid. Spermatids are haploid. So this is the answer. Spermatogonia is the germ cell that is going to form the sperms. Okay. Then how many sperms will be formed from one spermatogonia if both type A and type B spermatocytes take part in sperm formation? Remember that in normal process of spermatogenesis, type A will not immediately divide. Instead, type B will undergo meiosis and form sperms. When type B undergoes meiosis, it forms 4 sperms. So the question is asking that if both type A and type B will undergo meiosis at the same time, then how many sperms will form? So if one type B spermatocytes forms 4 sperms, so if both will undergo, they will form 4 into 2, that is 8 sperms. So 8 sperms will be formed over here. And this is a question that you have to answer in the comment section. You have to make a flow chart of the different stages that a spermatogonium passes through during spermatogenesis. So the hint is that it begins from spermatogonia and ends at spermatozoa. So I hope you understood this lecture. And if you understood this lecture, please like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much.